Well, on today's show, we have Leanna Crawford. Leanna, thank you so much for chatting with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to talk.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. So on your social media, you posted the other day that you went to a Colts game. Are you a fan or was you there for the other team?
I was at a Colts game. Actually, yes. My husband Cody is from Indiana, so he is big Colts fan, and I enjoy football. So I got a Colts t-shirt, and I'm a Colts fan now because he's a fan. But I grew up going like watching the Seahawks.
Yeah.
So I'm still like, love the Seahawks, but I'm not like a diehard fan. So I feel like I can definitely cheer for the Colts. So it was really fun though. They won. It was good. It was a good game.
Yeah, I'm from Louisville, and so I don't really. I mean, I've always liked a few teams, but now I follow the Ravens just because of Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
Not really a Ravens fan, and they're not doing really that great. So he can go on to another team, and I'll pull for them.
You'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like not up to date on who even like the Seahawks have, but like Cody tells me all the things, so I feel like I know some. But yeah, I know about the Colts. They got a
Was
young.
you a fan when was it Russell Wilson? Was that who it is?
Yeah, that was kind
Okay.
of more like, especially that's when I lived out there too. So, we went to the Super Bowl, and of course we had the tragedy at the Super Bowl. I think it was the next year. That was very sad. So I remember all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that and like Pete Carroll, but now he's not there anymore, which is wild. So I don't really know who's there now, but I should probably be updated on that. But still love to see. Go Hawks.
There you go. Go Hawks.
Yeah. Love that.
Well, we're here to talk about your brand new debut album that just released recently called Still Waters. Let's dive into that. Tell us about this album.
Yeah, love that. Well, it's so fun to talk about. It's my first album, which is also wild because I've been releasing music for 2024, like 6 years, almost 7 years actually, which is crazy. But just like I started releasing music independently and then signed a record deal back in 2019. So I've been like releasing songs, but never a full length album, which has been a dream of mine for a while. And so a lot of the songs started coming out like few of the songs started coming out like 2022. So it's kind of, I've been like building to this record, and then to put everything out was like super special, and very excited to have like, it's just been so sweet to have it out and to get to be like, this is like a full project. And I got to put the track list together. It wasn't just like a single out there. Like it was like, this is a whole vision that I've had for quite a few years. So that's like super exciting to have. And 14 tracks on the album. I loved, figuring out the track list, the order, like what was going to be the first song that people listen to the album all the way through, which who knows, but like the first song all the way to the last song. The last song is a song called Rest, and like the bridge of that song is "Come to me, all who are weary, and I will give you rest," comes from that. So I was like, I just wanted to end that way. But it's been so sweet. It's been really, really special to have it out. Just very grateful.
Yeah, I don't know if you know who Joseph O'Brien is, but we had him on, and he hasn't released an album yet either, and he's been releasing songs like all the time. And I'm like, dude, how long are you gonna wait to release an album? He's like, man, as long as people are digging the singles, my management, we're no rush to release anything. And I'm like, I'm just saying, man, we need a full blown album. And so
I know, I love him too, and he's awesome. But I'm like, yeah, he does, but he also kills the single life too, like the single, like putting out singles. So that's. I don't know. Yeah. It's such an interesting thing.
The industry's so different because I remember back in the day going to family Christian bookstores and not hearing one song off the album. There might have been one song playing on the radio, but that's all you would get. Right. And so you would have to actually, for all the Gen Z people out there, you would have to drive your vehicle to a Christian bookstore and buy the CD and get to hear the whole thing and look at the art. I mean, that was the best thing, is to look at the different pictures and stuff. But here we are, it's a different age.
My sister and I were always like dancing in our room. We had Zoe Girl. We had like 2 of their albums, and I don't remember the name, but I remember one of the albums was like red and the other was purple. Those were like the colors, very bright colors, but we knew all the songs and dance. And then we had Nicole C. Mullen too. We had her. Oh, what record was that? But one of her, and those were like some of our favorites that we loved, and we just listened to all those. And Reliant K.
Yeah.
But just they're cool. I remember their album cover, and it was like in the it was like, now I can't. It's like blue and they were in a well, I can't even think right now. It was a bunch of garbage, like it was a mountain of like that. Do you remember? Anyways, I don't know. If you listen
Maybe.
I make
jars of clay? No, I don't know.
That was like a little, I feel like I knew some of that, but that was a little bit, I also wasn't like super, I didn't know like a lot I just knew those people.
Yeah. Well, your song Still Waters. So what's the story behind that, and why did you title your album Still Waters?
Yeah, so my like the song, like the first line talks about my great aunt Maureen, and she was like, that's been really special to get to kind of tell her story when I talk about this song, and even in the album, she was like just the sweetest woman, and she led my mom to Jesus when my mom was little, but my parents had like told me about my great aunt. And that when she was in her 40s, she found out she was going blind. And so she decided to memorize the whole Bible, which is just like a crazy thing to me, that she was like, I'm going blind. I'm going to lose my sight, but I want to know the word of God, which is really cool. And so she memorized a lot of it, like 90% maybe. I'm not sure the exact percentages, but she got a lot of it. And she was in Pennsylvania towards the end of her life, and we were on the West Coast. So we actually made a trip out to see some family, and we got to see her out there when she was 103 years old, which is crazy. And she was just like the cutest little 103-year-old woman ever. She was just like so cute and full of life, and just like kind of like, I don't know, she was just so fun. And we spent a few hours with her, and she just like was my sister and I like quizzed her on, we're like, hey, do you really have the Bible memorized? And so we were like going through, and we had her, the easy ones, of course, like, John 3:16, for God so loved the world, all those. And then we're just kind of going through, and like then she knew all the ones we were pulling out, like Psalms are probably everywhere. She just knew, and it was very inspiring. But I think that really impacted me. And so getting to like share her story in this song, because then when we were in the writing room, came into this room, and my co-writers on the song, Jonathan Gamble, who's been just crushing it, a guy named Justin Mark Richards, awesome, and he does more like country stuff. So we like came out with this song, and it's very a storytelling song, especially talking about my great aunt Maureen. He kind of came into the room with Psalm 23, with that just being like, he had kind of the top of that chorus, which was like, both of us were like, holy cow, that's insane. So then we just started to write that, and like love where we landed with Psalm 23, because that's like just one of my favorite Psalms. It's like, I feel like it's everybody's, I don't know, it's just amazing. And so then we started digging into like just generational faith, and like the generations of the great aunt Marines that have prayed for like now. And I'm just so thankful. Like, it's just really sweet to tell her story. But why I named the album that, it just kind of felt like the song one. It just was like, this should be I want this to be like the anchor song. And that's not always like what the album is. It's not always the name of the album, but, I think even just in the name of Still Waters, like I end the last song on the album is a song called Rest. And I think the whole kind of like theme, I think the world being so chaotic and all the things happening with just the last few years, and as these songs were being written, I think kind of theme that I needed was like still waters. I needed that reminder. And I think when you say still waters, okay, you're like, well, the Lord is my shepherd. And if you just have that first line, and you just know that first line of the Psalm, I think just knowing that the Lord is my shepherd, it just kind of takes all the burdens off. Like, he's got it. Like, the Lord is my shepherd. I don't have to worry about anything. So I think still waters is just like, I'm drawn to that so much, and that idea, and just it kind of hearing that, even I'm like, okay, like peace, like it's good. But I don't always feel that. And so that's where I think I wanted that to be the title, is because I wanted that reminder. And then for, everybody listening, I wanted that too. So that's kind of my still waters. That was a long answer, but I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, our favorite song off of your new album, well, one of our favorite songs, we really like the song How Can You Not? Could you please tell us about that one?
Yeah, thank you. That's so sweet. That's the first time my dad saw fireflies, which sounds like it was just such a sweet moment. But 6 years ago, I moved to Nashville with my sister, but moved from the Northwest, and we get to go back home a bit, but anyways, it's been really sweet living in the South. And so every year get very excited about fireflies because we do not have them back home. And I just think they're the coolest thing. Like everybody's like so used to fireflies, but like I just think they're so cool. And you hear that like people caught them in jars and everything. My husband Cody told me that when him and his brothers were growing up, they would go outside with their baseball bats and they would just hit it and see. Yeah. Which I feel like I was like, I say that on stage and I'm like, that was before he knew Jesus, but I don't know.
You just made all of the weirdos about bugs and stuff mad.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Don't come at me. Come out. No, that was before he knew the Lord. So he's been, he's repented, but I thought I was like, oh dear. But really just like these cool little light up bugs. And my parents were visiting us a few summers ago and my mom had seen them, but my dad had never seen fireflies. And he is like a college linebacker. Like he's like a big dude. But he's like a teddy bear. Really. I knew he'd be so excited about these little bugs. And so, we had told them all about them and they were coming for a week in the middle of firefly season. And so every night we would go out searching for the fireflies and not a single one the whole week, which is like so funny that it was just none were like, did not see a single firefly. And we were like, Dad, we promise they're like super cool. Well, the night before they were going to leave, my sister Lindsay just prayed this prayer, who she didn't tell me this till later, but she just prayed this prayer and said, hey God, can Mom and Dad see fireflies before they leave town? And we went for one final walk and we were walking by this field and it lights up. Like it was the most beautiful thing. To this day, I don't know that I've really seen that incredible. Like it was just so magical. It was beautiful, breathtaking. And my dad looked over to us and he just said, how can you not see a creator? And and I'd heard him say that before. I'd heard my mom say stuff like that before. Like I'd heard them say that, but it was just one of those things where it hit me in that moment. And I was like, oh, wow, what a good reminder for me. And I had just come out of this season and was kind of walking in where songwriting for me was always something that I just loved. And I felt really close to Jesus and it was very worshipful for me. And I had just been walking kind of out of a season, kind of still in it, where it was just a very painful thing. I couldn't write because all like these insecurities, all the things, I wasn't feeling creative. I also just felt like a total failure. Like there was a lot of lies that I'd been telling myself that had been spoken over me that I just believed to be true. And that kind of like came out in that I couldn't write a song. And so I was kind of slowly kind of writing and then he said that. And so this song's also special in that it was like one of the songs I wrote out of that. So it was one of like the songs and it became for me another like anchor for the record before I had even written Still Waters, before I'd written the rest of the songs. When I wrote that song, really wanted to do like all the visuals. I wanted it to all be in the Northwest, which is funny because I talk about fireflies and that's not in the Northwest, but just I wanted it to be like kind of a reflection of like me and also just showing like how can you not see God in all this beauty. And one of the places that I really feel the close to Jesus is when I'm outside and like I'm just going on walks and all the things. But I was like, well, what better place to showcase that than like back home? And so that song was like, I was like, I really want to do this, the whole thing. So like the music videos, the visuals, really for the whole album, that song like set the tone and inspired that, which was like super cool. So yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah. It might be a new song idea, but so if you say fireflies, I was raised in Kentucky. We called them lightning bugs. So,
yes,
I mean, I know it's probably controversial, but is it lightning bugs or fireflies?
That was literally, there's been so many shows because I kind of go a little more in depth, but well, I don't know. Sure. Anyways, at shows, I will literally share the story and I will say fireflies. And depending on where I am in the country, people will yell and say, you mean lightning bugs? And it's literally so funny. But like people correct me. And at that point in the show, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's fine. But people in Nashville, especially in Kentucky, but it's like lightning bugs. Like
lightning
to me,
bugs.
it's like but I think that's so cute. I think lightning bugs, I don't know why we think we get to name them back, in the Northwest, we don't even have them. I think it's because of Owl City. That's my thought.
There you go.
The Fireflies song.
Well, and why lightning bugs would be harder to sing, I guess.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is I didn't even put fireflies or lightning bugs in the song. So like they're not even actually in the song, which is probably a miss on my part, but it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine. That's a it's fine.
Next time you sing it live, you should have your husband go on stage and just release a bunch from a mason jar and just start slamming them with a baseball bat.
Isn't that terrible? But like, I'm also completely see his brothers and him doing that, but it's fine. It's fine.
Well, this is a fan-based podcast, and so we will have people write in from time to time. And we had a fan of yours, Lori from Brazil. She wants to know the story behind the song "Truth I'm Standing On."
That's so sweet. Thank you, Lori. That song is just like wild too. I'm so grateful for that song because that was one of the first ones I released. I released it in 2020, which is crazy. It's been 4 years, but it's still a song. I feel like it's one of those that, you know, you always need to hear that message. You always need to hear like, this is the truth I'm standing on. It's like the word of God and his word rings true. And that song was released in that in 2020, which was super I think very timely for that. We had written it before that. But the original, like the title of that song was actually from a gal in Florida who had walked with her husband through his battle with cancer. And he ended up going to be with Jesus. But as she was like walking with him, she was post on Instagram like a Bible verse, and it would say like truth to stand on. And then she posted after, and it kind of became like her tagline. And one of my co-writers on the song had heard that story from a friend, and so that was like what she really like inspired that like the title and kind of like the heart behind the song, which is super cool. But it's like that song for me, it was like when we were writing it too, I was like, oh, this is like, I need to hear this, which I feel like is like all the songs I'm like, I'm singing what like I need to hear, what I feel like God is teaching me. But I'm so grateful for that song. And I think just like it's so just incredible that like, I don't know, it's just very humbling too. God uses these songs in ways that has nothing to do with me. It's just like, he's like, here, I'm going to use this, which is like the craziest thing ever. And I'm so grateful for that. So very grateful for that song, but that's, yeah, Truth to Stand On was the inspiration behind that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's pretty neat how God will use songs that you guys are a part of or write. And a lot of times at the moment is something that you need, you know. What's his name? Bart from Mercy Me.
Yeah.
His book is phenomenal, and he's talked about several songs that he went through a lot of spiritual abuse in the church, and he said songs that he would sing every night, and he would just sing them, and they meant nothing. And then when he went through the time of healing, he's like, wow, like I sang these songs night after night, and I was going through so much abuse in the church, and now they mean so much more. So I love how God can use, you know, not just for, you know, the people listening to your all songs, but for yourself, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's so true though, too. There's so many times I think, cause I sing the songs, I sing Truth I'm Staying On, you know, every night. And so it's interesting too, when I've gone through different seasons and I'm like, oh, this song for me right now. I'm like, can I get through this? Am I gonna be able to sing this? Cause I really need this right now.
Yeah.
But then I think that also makes it kind of helps me, the lyrics also again, kind of come to life again, whether I'm thinking back to when we wrote it and how it felt, or I'm also like, okay, who needs to hear this tonight? Okay, maybe it's actually just me, and maybe I need to hear this tonight. But yeah, that's I don't know. It's so cool that happens, I think. But yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah. Well, this next part is something that our listeners, this is like, it's so sad. I'm like, we talk about some serious stuff. We get deep into the artist's heart and stuff, but they love this part the best out of the interview. So whatever, we're going to keep doing it as long as they like it. But it's called Favorite Things. We're just going to give you a word, and you just give us your favorite thing in that category.
Okay.
All right.
This is like a game, maybe, kind of. No.
Rapid fire type thing. Yeah.
This is the one. I love it.
What is your favorite food?
Oh, that's such a tough one. I love all the food. I think, oh man, chicken pad thai.
Chicken what?
Chicken pad thai. Like just pad thai.
Okay,
Or,
yeah.
No, actually, that's not true. That's not my favorite food. Sushi is my favorite food.
Sushi. You're in Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
So there's Publix is there, right?
Yep.
Okay. I know that you can't knock it till you try it, but they have sushi, and on Wednesdays it's Wednesdays it's $5 for a roll, and I'm telling you, it's good.
Is it? No, I would actually trust Publix. I say sushi, I'm a little bit of like a snob when it comes to like, well, this is silly because I will eat sushi here and I would have Publix sushi. Kroger sushi is like, but I've done that. But I'm like a little bit.
At least I didn't say like, hey, go to Big Lots. They have a sushi guy there.
My guy Johnny's down there.
No. Ollie's, they got, they're known for their sushi.
No, I think because when I go home, like back to the West Coast, like home, I'll like do sushi at a grocery store for the most part. And I feel like but honestly, they're probably making it from the same stuff, whether it's here. I'm like, I'm by the ocean, so it's better, but it's probably the same stuff. So I will definitely try Wednesday's half off sushi. Is it half off because it's been sitting all week? Or is it fresh?
No, they make it that same day. So
okay. I'm gonna have to. I didn't know that. Publix is great, and everybody's like, I feel like I go to Publix. They're so nice to me in there.
It's like the Chick-fil-A of grocery stores.
They're so nice, but then I'm like, is it? I don't know. It's not whole. It's like Whole Foods is like, whoa, way up here.
Yeah, my mom. They started opening them up in Kentucky, and she's like, oh my gosh, Publix is so expensive. I'm like, I know, but they have sales and their customer service is a lot better than Walmart. So, I mean,
I know it is true though. I'm like, they're, I don't know, but now $5 Wednesdays, so I'm gonna have to go there at Publix.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna do that on Wednesday. I'm gonna do
that. What do you have a favorite movie?
Yes, but when someone asks me this, I can never think of. I'd probably say like Remember the Titans.
Okay.
Or Lord of the Rings.
All right. Yeah. So there's usually three of us, and we're all brothers, and my brothers love Lord of the Rings. They recently released them again in the theaters, like the extended versions, and so each night they'd go, and it was like a 4.5 hour deal. And so
I think the extended versions are the way to go. However, it's like I haven't watched all of them in a long time. It's kind of like a thing I do every few years. Like with my sister, like you do it in high school with our friends, and we would take like a whole couple of days and just watch the extended versions. So I was like, oh my gosh. But I love them. I love those movies. The other movies I feel like I watch every year though would be like the Pride and Prejudice, and I can either do like the Keira Knightley version, which is like a night, that's good, or the BBC version, which is quite a bit longer. But there's a lot of storylines that get missed, so I don't know. But I love Pride and Prejudice. That's probably my favorite. Yeah.
Well, at least we talked to.
Have you ever seen Pride and Prejudice?
I've heard of it. My wife has seen them all. So.
Yeah, you should watch them with her. My dad actually loves them. Cody, my husband, has seen like the shorter one. I haven't made him sit down and watch the long one yet. So
So several years ago, she binge watched Gilmore Girls. She's like, "You just need to watch one episode." I'm like, "No, I don't think so." And I watched it, and I was like, "All right, let's find out what happens. You better not tell anybody, though."
You can't not, though. It's like, I think with Gilmore Girls too, I never watched it growing up, but I've been watching it a little. It's a very like sweet, it's a very fall vibe show. So now would be the season to watch it. It's very fall, right. Like it's a good, I love that one.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite show that you like to watch?
I do. I'm trying to think of like my favorite. I feel like it always is. The Office is one that I love, that I like. I can just watch all the time. That's one too that I can just watch even by myself, and I've seen all the episodes, I'm pretty sure, and I just laugh when I'm alone. Like it's just so funny.
It is.
I love The Office and Parks and Rec, which is by like the same people.
Yep.
It's probably a little more. I don't know, maybe a little more inappropriate, but it's like you just kind of don't repeat some things, but it's fine. Yeah. That's terrible. I'm like,
I actually watched it last night, and I watched the episode. It was a Christmas episode on the season 2 Christmas episode, and where Michael Scott goes out and buys everybody drinks, and it's like, wow, show never gets old.
It's hard. It's like so cringy sometimes. There's some episodes like I can't watch, Scott's Tots.
Yeah.
That's what it's so bad. I can't watch that one.
Yeah. Everybody in here gets a battery. Terrible.
So bad. It's so bad, but it's like so funny. Oh, it's such a good show. It's so timeless. I don't know. I feel like it's still good.
Yeah. Yeah. They've all said, like, if it was to air today new, there would be no way it'd get canceled just because there's so much offensive stuff on there.
Oh, I know. But I think that's why people love it so much, is because everyone's just like, they don't care. It's like, it should be. It's comedy. It's just funny.
Right. Do you have a favorite musical artist of all time?
Of all time? Oh, my word. I don't know. I would have used to say, like, I probably would have said, like, Sarah Bareilles. Like, I would have, which I don't know if that's how you say her name, and she'd be my all time. I love, and I still love her. I'm definitely, like, I love, that's so hard. I don't know. I love country music. That's what I listen to a lot. But I like all time. That's like a big.
You don't have to answer.
That's a lot. But I would say my favorite artist right now would be like I love like Lainey Wilson. I love her stuff. I love Morgan Wallen. But I don't know that I would be like, they're my all time.
Sure.
That's I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that and get back to you.
What about a dream duet?
I think it'd be cool. I'm just not quite as like country, but I think it'd be cool to do like Lainey, like a Lainey Wilson would be super cool because I like love her. Yeah. I do love her a lot, so that'd be super cool. I would say like Lainey.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Zach Bryan's voice is super cool, but I don't know if I don't know. I'm in like that. That's actually no, I lied. My dream duet would be Chris Stapleton.
Okay.
I think that'd be the one.
Well, again, he listens. No, I'm just joking.
Perfect. Perfect.
Do you have a favorite ice cream flavor?
Yeah, I just like Moose Tracks. It's like have you had those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where like the caramel comes out of little chocolate pieces.
Yeah.
So good. Or anything like peanut butter and vanilla and chocolate.
There you go. Last one. Do you have a favorite podcast that you listen to?
Christian Music Guys.
That's okay. There you go. Your manager told you. That's good.
That's the one. That's the only one I listen to.
I'm sure.
That's it. Yeah.
What? Okay, go ahead.
No, that's my answer.
That's your answer? Okay.
Yeah.
What is one thing about you that people do not know?
Let's see. One thing about people do not know. Maybe some people know this if they follow me like fairly closely. But like I was an equestrian growing up.
Okay.
Horse girly. And I competed all growing up, and so I was like a show jumping girly. And my older sister was a trainer. I also taught lessons with my other sister, and we all did it together, which is so fun. And I thought that I would do that for the rest of my life. It was kind of like music or horses. It was kind of always music, but I just like loved it so much, and I still do. But that's probably like, maybe some people would know that though. I can't snap my fingers. That's something I can't. I can, but it's not like that. Sounds like a snap, but I use these two fingers and it doesn't work, so I can't really. It's kind of an embarrassing thing. So.
Well, it's all right.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Leanna, what is next for you, and how can our viewers and listeners keep up with you?
Oh, yes. What's next? On the road a little bit this fall. Have a lighter calendar, which is, I'm excited because I'll be songwriting a lot more, get back. I'm like already, especially, I don't know, we have put the album out in July, and like that has to be turned in so early. Like it's just like behind the scenes, and super grateful for my team and everybody. There's just so many amazing people that work on it, but I'm already like, okay, what's next? So starting that process. So that'll be a lot this fall, but I'm going out on the first part of their tour with We Are Messengers in October. So that'll be really fun. I don't know when this comes out, but we'll be out with them. And then I'll be doing some shows in the spring, which have not been announced yet, but we will be doing that. So that'll be out. And then what's next? I mean, there's music coming up, which I'm excited about.
Another Christmas song or anything?
Huh?
Another Christmas single or something?
There might be a little sleigh bells, maybe it might be with a friend too. So there
Chris
might
Stapleton.
be hey, might be a little collaboration thing that happens, which will be very sweet. I'm super excited about that. So that'll be coming up very soon, a little Christmas, and I haven't put out Christmas in a while, so excited about that. And then maybe some other potential collaborations with friends that we're working on this week, so that's exciting. But yeah, just I don't know, it's exciting. I'm just super grateful to do music. I don't know, it's just so fun, and there's always like I love getting to do it. So this how you can keep up with me, like I'm on all the social platforms. Leanna Crawford music, I think. But just Instagram is probably where I'm most active, but that's like, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I'm kind of on Twitter /X, but I just don't post a lot on there, but I'm on there.
Yeah.
So if anyone, are you an X person?
I mean, I have an account, but I don't think I've ever posted anything.
Yeah. I'm on there a little bit. I think it's so funny because my husband Cody does it, but I think it's like a sports thing. Like all the sports guys are on.
Oh, okay.
It's like interesting. So like, I think because he's on there, then I was like, oh, I'm kind of on there a little bit, but I don't really. Anyways, but I'm there. Yeah. I am there. But anyways, on all the things.
Nice. Well, to wrap up, I'd like to see if you'd be willing to share something that God's been doing in your life recently that would help build our viewers and listeners' faith.
Yeah, for sure. Goodness. I just feel like I feel like right now, I think it's so funny because I was literally talking about this morning, but I think what God is maybe trying to tell me and trying to like, which I think maybe some people need to hear, is just to like dream big and pray big. I think so often, like, at least for me, I put God in like this little box, like he's only so big because he's only as big as I can think he is. Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, he actually is so incomprehensible and can do so much more. And I've been reading this awesome book, and I'm not going to be able to remember the name of it, but it's so good. It's so good. But it's about praying, and it's about praying big and like just asking God, and God is going to do more than we could ever ask or imagine. And I think it's like I've seen that as evidence so many times in my life. And I also like try to keep a journal, because a lot of my journal entries are prayers, and then I like to date them, and I can go back and look, okay, I was praying for this. I actually kind of forgot I was praying for it, but God answered that, and he answered it in so much, like, I think that's where we can, do all these things, and we can, work hard, and we're supposed to do that. We're supposed to, work hard and do all the things, but also like we serve a really big God, and he can answer and will answer like big prayers. And so I think that's something that I'm trying to be like obedient and just like trusting that he's going to do it. And it might be not how I thought. And the timing might not be how I thought, and it might not always work out what I'm thinking the way it should work out, but like he has a better plan. And so like trusting that too, but just like praying for big things. I think that's something I'm like, I need to like learn and work on, and something I feel like he's teaching me.
Yeah. Well, Leanna, thank you so much for chatting with me. Your new album, Still Waters, is out now. Download it, stream it, buy the cassette tape, whatever is available. But please do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah.